So you mentioned generational curses, and I kind of want to take that and spin it a little bit with talking about. I always talk about Generation X being the worst generation ever, but I say that only from the standpoint because of the negligence of y'all parents, and I think that the thing that sets millennials apart from you guys, yes, we have some negative effects from Gen X generation, but we address it, and we whether we lashing out or going to therapy, we are addressing it. I think Gen X has a tendency to hold stuff in, and y'all are kind of anti-therapy at times. What does Kirk's story say to Gen X as a whole, the church people as a whole, just everybody who this kind of affects, Black community? To you, what does this story say to those groups of people that could be affected?
Well, to me, with this story, Kirk has said he is taking therapy, so that's good, and that was something probably this generation is reluctant to do, or a certain race like the Black race is reluctant to do. But this story says that no matter what you did in the past, it's going to come to the light, and you should step up and do the right thing when it does come to the light. A lot of people are finding out who their real parents or father is through that DNA, and a lot of people that are incarcerated are being set free through the DNA. And so when that happens, the way that you deal with it is to face it head on and apologize and move on. You, like I said, you can't do nothing about what has happened. The only thing you can control is what you do now and going forward. The what you done or where you going, it's much more important than wherever you've been. So if we need to focus on that, and if you do that, I think you'll be much better off.
Same question to you, Percy. What does this story say to those groups, so the groups that could be affected by Kirk?
Stop lying. Like, that's really, I was like, I'm sorry for the aggression, but I was holding the phone like, girl, if you don't like, as a mom, it just really upset me. But you make a good point when it comes to the generation prior to us, when I think they're slowly coming around because they're seeing, the millennials or what have you, being more open and honest about certain things and realizing, I think some of us are a little bit too honest, and I'm kind of in that category sometimes. But I think that it's very pertinent or very vital to be able to let that stuff go, because even science says that you harbor that stuff in you. That's how you get illnesses, you get cancer or what have you, because you're holding in all of this stuff. And once again, I'm not saying do a tell-all book. That's, some people don't need to know your business. But if it's something that affects other people, you have a obligation, you have a responsibility to be honest, and to, even if it happened to you, you should be able to. I highly, highly, highly recommend therapy. I sent it out to somebody every week if I can. I told my boss about it last week, because sometimes you need a unbiased opinion. You need an unbiased voice to be able to be truly honest. That's how I was able to be delivered from depression and bitterness. If I had not had someone that was God-fearing and understanding, my therapist, I would be miserable. So I really feel for some of the older generation, and I feel for this woman because she will never truly be free because she's harboring so much shame and guilt. And someone that has had a past as myself, I know what that feels like. And there's nothing like being free and understanding, yeah, I was doing whatever I was doing. That ain't got nothing to do with me now. That's not how I am. Dad actually preached that to this past Sunday. He was saying that you can't keep looking in the rearview mirror. You need to look ahead, otherwise you're going to crash. So I'm not looking back. I'm not who I used to be, but God, all that good stuff, all the stuff that you want to say, I really believe that. So hopefully this older generation will take some cues from us and get the help that they need and be a little more open and honest about what happened and move on.